Welcome to Garage419. I'm Matt from the New York Motor Club here with early 90s alt rocker Mike Spinelli. Welcome.
Yeah, I was the ninth member of Pearl Jam, Aberdeen, Washington.
Well, in that case, good to have you here.
Oh, good to be here, pimp.
Pimpin', always. Now, we always, we got a lot to talk about today. The first thing on the list is sort of a carryover from my last debate show with Mr. Angry. It generated a lot of enthusiasm among the commenters, if you can call it that. The Nissan GTR. Now, we're not talking about the regular GTR. Now we've got the Spec V, which stands for Victory, spied on the Nürburgring, right? Have you seen the pictures?
Yeah, you're talking about the supposed lightweight, more powerful version.
Right, lightweight, powerful, ceramic brakes, new aero.
Ceramic brakes, is that a new development? Is that
it
something?
Looked that way in the pictures. I don't have a technical specification for it, but there's these car paparazzi photographers that took pictures of it, and they go out there with lap timers. And apparently, and it's unofficial, so don't hold me to this, apparently it was lapping the Nürburgring at 7 minutes and 25 seconds, which is like,
wow, that's
dumb fast.
That's dumb fast, and that actually beats what the GTR did in stock form, which was 738, I think. 13
seconds faster and 3 seconds faster than the last recorded Carrera GT.
That's pretty sick. I mean,
so
it's like, whereas I guess the GTR would be after the Porsche Turbo, this would be after the GT2.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, this would be going after the GT. No word, we've got no word on price. We've got no word on anything officially from Nissan. But I mean, you can tell what this thing is lapping the ring, and it's going ridiculously fast. 70 extra horsepower. 300 pounds less, ceramic brakes. I mean, it's got the whole package, right?
I mean, if it came in at, let's say, if the regular one, I mean, if you don't include the dealer markup, if the stock one is going at
75,
70, well, it's stickers at like 69 with the nav system. I guess it's above 70,
okay.
But this would be maybe 100, maybe going after the Corvette ZR1.
Maybe. I mean, you drove the GTR on the track, so how do you think? I mean, not that you've driven a ZR1, but do you think that with 620 horsepower, rear-wheel drive, and a stick shift, can the ZR1 keep up on the track?
Well, I mean, I can't speak for the Spec V or the whatever. I mean, because Nissan's not even talking about the Spec V, so all this stuff is from spy photos and spies, yeah. and sources and crap. So, yeah, I mean, the GTR is a brilliant car on the track. It's like it does a lot of things for you. I mean, I'm not a great race driver, and I could drive it pretty well on the track. I went out and
for the record, what do you think of the styling?
I don't know. I'm halfway. I kind of like the style. I like the kind of robo, Japanese kind of big chunky kind of crazy. Because I mean, who's basically sports car design peaked in the 60s. Now we're talking about. I mean, what are they going to do? They got to go somewhere, and they got to get the crash test stuff, and the aerodynamics are phenomenal.
Of course, it's what I call functionally ugly.
Yeah,
I mean,
very good. I like.
Look, it's not like ugly, but it's not the prettiest car out there. But it is fully functional in terms of its aerodynamics. I think it's a 0.27 drag coefficient.
Yes, it's a little bit less than the Prius, I think. Or a little bit draggier than the Prius. But anyway, so the thing about driving the GTR, we did some hot laps with Steve Millen, who former IMSA racer.
Steve Millen, yeah, he's a big name.
Reese Millen's uncle, I think.
Yeah.
So we went out. He had the traction control off. He was just rocking that thing. I mean, okay, that's great. I would love to see him in that car. Him in the Spec V versus like Johnny O'Connell in the ZR1. Johnny O'Connell.
I think it'll be a pretty good race.
Yeah, I mean, Johnny's the Le Mans racer for one of the drivers with Jan Magnussen for Corvette Racing. I'd love to see like real serious,
like experts at their own cars running against each other.
What? I think that the ZR1 might have an edge.
Really?
That's I mean.
So you don't think that the paddle shifters and the launch control and the adjustable the active suspension would actually help on a road course?
Well, don't get me wrong; it's a brilliant car. I mean, it'll help me.
Yeah.
But will it help?
It would definitely help me too.
Will it help O'Connell? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would love to see it. I'm just thinking, obviously the GTR has so many things going for it. Spec V, if it's lighter and has the carbon ceramic brakes, whatever. Not that the brakes fade. I mean, the stock brakes are awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, the ZR1 is more powerful. It's obviously crazier, you know, but I'd love to see those two cars.
Yeah, I mean, I just think I think the GTR is a car for more for the novice or for someone who might need a safety net who goes on a track, whereas the ZR1 is going to be kind of an experts only car.
Well, definitely. I mean, the GTR is a great set of training wheels for going on a track.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that.
All right. Next up, Ford is releasing, well, not Ford, but spy photographers as well, are showing pictures of what appears to be a streetable Ford trophy truck, like a Baja 1000 truck, that is being called the Raptor.
I love it. Seriously.
Love the truck, hate the name.
Yeah, Raptor, I guess.
Raptor is just like...
I can't argue for Raptor. I mean, you know, it reminds me of Jeff Goldblum somehow. But no,
Chaos theory.
Exactly. No, trophy truck, unlimited class Baja trucks are freaking awesome. So I mean,
cool.
It's an excellent place to go marketing wise. If you can get a truck that, you know, reminds people of how totally cool off-road racing can be.
Well, and then it's also supposedly going to be badged under the SVT name, which is a total departure because normally SVT, you'd think Mustang Cobras, you'd think the Ford Lightning, you wouldn't think Focus, but somebody might think Focus, or even the Contour.
Right.
But you're talking about road performance, and here's an SVT truck that is going to be for off-road performance. Supposedly we've got a 6.2 liter Boss engine in it, producing somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 horsepower. I'm sure the interior will be appropriately burly.
And it'll probably be, I mean, it might even be more than 400. I mean,
you never know.
You never know. I mean, if they're downplaying it, but I don't know. I think
with the last SVT Lightning was 385, so you think you'd probably want to bump it up a notch.
Yeah, you want to, and especially, you know, with the if they have wide enough suspension travel, you could actually take it off road and go like fast on a dirt track.
They're claiming it's got 12 inches of suspension travel.
I think it's awesome.
It's going to be a legit off-roading truck.
Not so much for the fuel economy set, but
no,
definitely
doesn't really help. So moving right along. Apparently, Mercedes is working on a concept car, which is going to be a CLK Shooting Brake.
Oh,
shooting brake. For those of you who don't know what a shooting brake is, it's essentially a sports car turned into a hatchback or kind of a two-door station wagon. Like think Chevy Nomad or think I don't even know.
Well, like that Aston Martin, right?
The Aston Martin
they did
DB5,
DB5 or DB6 shooting brake. I mean, basically, right? Wasn't this in Britain when people used to go shooting on fox hunts and stuff? You'd have a sports car that you can put your gun in. And you actually fit
the long barrel shotgun does not fit in the trunk of a DB5. So I guess you get the shooting brake.
I mean, obviously, no one's going to go hunting in a Mercedes. You know,
but you might want to throw a couple extra sets of golf clubs in there. You might want to throw some skis in there or something. I mean, you never know. You might want a bigger trunk and maybe a bigger back seat, or you could just be into the styling. I happen to like shooting brake styling. I think it's cool.
I mean, I like the styling. I don't know. I sort of feel like there's model creep. Like they keep coming up with different, just to keep people interested, instead of kind of focusing on...
You don't think they should be coming up with new stuff to keep people interested?
I think I don't know. I just feel like in some ways there are too many different new styles coming out. It's like, yeah, we've got, the SUV, but now we have the crossover, and now we have the station wagon, the hatchback, and the shooting brake, and it's like, it's getting ridiculous.
I mean, Mercedes, with the exception of the horrific R-Class, has kind of stayed away from crossovers. They've sort of said, okay, this is an SUV, this is a sedan, this is a sports car.
R-Class.
I said with the exception of the R-Class, which is an atrocity, by the way. And they've admitted to that. But the shooting brake, I happen to think it could be, and they haven't said production, but when we see the show car, we could see. But I like the idea of a shooting brake, and I think that...
I mean, do you shoot a lot? You go shooting?
Actually,
I
do.
Really?
I do. And my gun fits in my trunk, but if I had a giant long gun, I might want a shooting brake.
Well, so that's spelled B-R-E-A-K, of course.
Well, actually, the original spelling of shooting brake was B-R-E-A-K, because they would literally take a break from shooting. It was sort of like the OG gangster tailgating vehicle.
No, it was. Wasn't there like a carriage type, like an old English kind of carriage thing called the B-R-E-A-K?
That's what I'm saying.
So they were taking the B-R-A-K-E?
Well, it's been modernized.
We're taking a break to go shoot some animals?
It doesn't sound like it makes sense anymore. So now they just call it B-R-A-K-E.
Well, I guess it's confusing with brakes and brake.
Yeah, but I don't understand. Shooting brakes? What is that? Doesn't make any sense.
I'd
rather take a break from shooting than shoot my brakes. It doesn't really make any sense. Anyway. Coming up on Garage 419, we are going to talk about the newest hot Japanese rip-off TV show in this country. And is it real? Is it not? We don't know, but stick around to find out. From the files of American TV shows that have been ripping off Japanese TV shows comes the new series on the GT channel, Flip a Bitch Championships.
GT channel? I'm not familiar with this channel.
Neither was I until I saw the video, but apparently it does exist, at least to the point where it has a real website. I gotta go home on my TiVo and find out what it is.
You gotta see if it actually
exists. I have to
exists.
actually see if it exists. But either way, the video on the internet's hilarious. Basically, I don't know if you know what flipping a bitch is. Drive in a straight line, yank e-brake, throw a wheel over, aim car into parking spot.
Just like the Audi commercial where he's coming down and he flips it into the spot. It says flip a bitch.
Right. Now, originally, the Japanese had the World Parking Championships where they'd have to, you know, floor it in reverse with a little needle on the back of the car and pop a balloon that's on a brick wall before you smash the wall.
It's an amazing show. Like guys flying back with a millimeter on each side.
Right, and they'd have to park like a Scion XB in a space that was like 1 centimeter on either side as fast as they can. You know, just stuff like that. So these guys who are in Formula Drift thought it would be funny, or someone thought it would be funny if they actually made this into an American show. And I don't know about you, I saw the video. I can't actually tell if it's going to be a legit show or if it was a joke.
I was going to say it looks like kind of a parody of I mean, but it's all these import tuner guys from the West Coast mixed with drift guys. And it's kind of cool. I mean, they come flying up and they've set up this course with boxes. Yeah. And basically the course is just a parking space laid out with boxes.
Surrounded by cardboard boxes.
Yeah, and they come in and they come flying
flip
inside
a bitch
see if
into
they
the spot.
Yeah, and if they make it in, they don't knock over the boxes. I mean, it looks...
It looks entertaining. I'll watch it.
That's the thing. It's
I'll absolutely watch it.
Right. Even if it's not real, I would totally watch that.
Not only that, I think we should blatantly rip off that show and just do it ourselves.
Absolutely.
I'm tempted to do that.
Yeah, we should do it ourselves, and it'll be called the insurance adjusters.
And I will be blatantly knocking over boxes.
Right. Exactly.
Denting Evo fenders, because I think they're using a new Evo in that one. I didn't watch that closely.
I'll have to check it out. Anyway, check it out. Where do you see it? You can check it on GT channel.
It was on, GTchannel.com. There's a website or a video on the player. So finally, our last story of the day. Now, Porsche owns 31% of Volkswagen, right? And they're trying to buy more. Actually, they want to control Volkswagen, and my guess would be because to get under the bar with the fuel emissions, right?
Well, you mean to have a piece of the, because basically, I mean, Porsche has been paying the fine up to now for having cars that exceed the limit.
Exceed the European Union's standards of fuel economy.
Very good. Thank you for that.
I have clarity in my speeches.
Yeah, so I mean, it would make a lot of sense if Porsche owned. I mean, it's kind of crazy anyway that Porsche is in better financial health than Volkswagen. Interesting development though this week is that the Porsche wants to get a controlling interest of Volkswagen.
Right.
And there's a law in place called the Volkswagen Law, or whatever they call it in Germany, that doesn't allow any one entity to own a majority voting interest, so that you could make a decision to say, I don't know.
Sell to a foreign company.
Sell to a foreign company or whatever.
Whatever.
And Porsche is saying, and it actually wants to own more Volkswagen to protect Volkswagen from hedge fund traders.
But here's the problem. The problem is that the German government actually owns 20% of Volkswagen, but it's a 20+1 figure, which means basically in a vote, the way their company's set up, it needs an 80% majority to pass any rule within the company. But a 20+1 can veto that, because the most you could ever get is 79%. So the German government could actually veto any decision that Volkswagen wants to make.
Well, right, but I mean, the development this week is that the European Union actually sided with Porsche to make it, to kind of put pressure on the German government to ease that law. So
the law was in place to protect it from foreign companies taking over, and at the time it was enacted, it seemed like a good idea. Unfortunately, 45 years later, it's not really such a good idea anymore, and it's clear that Volkswagen is not going to be sold to a foreign party.
Well, I mean, it may or may not, and the European Union free trade guys just want the market to dictate what happens with Volkswagen's business. So, it would be interesting to see Porsche actually take a voting interest, and they would be able to dictate how Volkswagen, the future of Volkswagen, and it would have all of Volkswagen's R&D stuff too,
and their test track, and all their good toys they have over there.
And Lamborghini and Audi. Could you imagine the R8 competing with the 911, and it's the same company?
It would be a good little.
Well, it's good or crazy.
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
That one company would essentially just become like the European car company. They make all the good stuff.
It would be the General Motors.
I still like you, BMW, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. And then they swallow BMW and Rolls Royce, and I don't know but anyway, so.
Good luck to
crazy.
Porsche.
Good luck to Porsche. Yeah.
So anyway, thanks for watching Garage419. We will be back next week with more automotive entertainment for all of you lovely people out there in internet land. Mike, thanks for being on the show.
No problem. Anytime there, Burns.
Keep it pimpin'.